Welcome to Lost in English， 这句英文跟你想的不一样。我们用轻松的聊天方式，陪你一起学会生活中最常见的英文片语及惯用法。如果接下来的英文对话内容太快，记得可以调整语速。同时，节目的资讯栏也有提供文字下载档，别忘记去领取咯。I'm Shirley.
And I'm Abby.
Today, the phrase we are going to talk about is stand out. But let's listen to a conversation first. Wow, I love your painting.
Thanks. I spent a lot of time on it and wanted it to be different from others in the gallery.
It definitely does. The colors and style really make it stand out.
I'm glad you noticed. I wanted people to remember it.
So what does stand out mean here, Abby?
Stand out means to attract attention, usually because something's unique, outstanding, or impressive.
这个片语动词 stand 本身有站着和站立的意思，而介系词 out 则是有向外的意思。所以当我们说 something 或者是 somebody 后接 stand out， 就像是某一个人在一个群体当中往外站的感觉，所以在中文翻译上，我们就可以表达突出或是凸显的意思咯。So, Abby, I know there are so many communities in the US, but are there any that really stand out culturally from most people?
Yes, there are so many actually. One community that stands out to a lot of people is the Amish community.
Oh, yes, I was going to mention that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, they're a group of people who live without modern technology, so they have no electricity and lights, no running water, and no internet. They also dress very differently. Their clothes cover a lot of their bodies, and they kind of look like they came straight out of a history movie about the 1700s or something. And they're also very religious.
Right, well, this is going to sound a little embarrassing and maybe a little bit uncultured, but I actually experienced culture shock the first time I saw them. So they were walking around the amusement park that I worked at, and I thought they were performers or something, like they were about to do a show or something because of the way they were dressed.
That's so fair. Of course you would think that. Like, they stand out so much from most other Americans because of their clothes. How did you eventually figure out who they were?
Well, I didn't figure it out at all until one of my friends who had lived in the US for many years happened to mention that community during a conversation one time. And that was actually a couple months after I saw them at an amusement park, actually. But I found it really interesting, and I actually took a trip to visit their village.
Oh, wow. What did you learn on the visit?
So, their way of living is exactly like what you mentioned. They don't have electricity at homes, so they use things like wood burning stoves or gas to cook food. And for things like fans or lamps, some of them use solar energy.
Wow, yeah. The way they live is very different from us, very old-fashioned. I think they don't use most modern technology, including cars, and they also grow and make all of their food.
Yeah, I also saw them riding horses there. Well, not really riding on the horses, but their horses were pulling big carts that people would sit in and put things in too. They could also control their horses from the small cart. And I even noticed they had a little like mirrors on both sides to check if there were any cars behind them. That was so cute.
That is so cute. Yeah, I remember seeing those too when I visited. It's so funny to see them with all the cars on the road.
Yeah, and then the most interesting part was that they even had like a signal lights on their cars to show when they were turning left or right. Just like real cars, but only much slower. I remember they call it like a buggy, I think.
Oh, yeah. It's just like in the 1800s. They always stand out. And yeah, when you drive on the road in that area, you can see them in their buggies right beside you. And you can always see the horse poop too. Did you see the the little sign warning drivers to be extra careful because buggies can be around you at any time?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, those are definitely huge distractions for drivers.
Yeah, I could imagine. Are there any communities like that in Taiwan that you've seen before? Or were you just like, wow, this is completely new for me?
Yeah, we also have special communities in Taiwan, kind of like the Native American tribes in the US. So, yeah, there are actually 16 tribes in Taiwan, and each one has its own unique culture and traditions. Yeah, I've even visited one of the villages that's open for tourists to experience their culture. You can try on their traditional clothes, learn some of their dances, and even see how they cook. Like, they put rice, meat, and vegetable inside a piece of bamboo and cook
Whoa.
the whole thing. And then you crack open the bamboo to eat it. The food has its really special bamboo aroma. It was just a fun and interesting experience. Yeah.
Wow, that sounds so good and so cool. And do they live among and with the regular people in Taiwan, or are they more separate from the normal world?
I believe that's especially the younger generation, they live more like regular people now, but they still keep their traditional festivals and food. Oh, and their names. Their names can be really different from ours. Like, I still remember one of my classmates were from one of the tribes, and her name was 7 words long.
Wow, that's crazy. And do they have any other customs that are super different from the common people, like how the Amish people go to their own schools because they can't use electricity, or are they more integrated into society?
I think they should have their own schools too, but I didn't get a chance to visit though. It would have been so interesting to see the differences.
Yeah, I would love to see their schools too. I think most of the Amish schools are really small and the classes happen in the same room with all of the students, which is like in the 1700s too. And then I believe once you turn 13, you can choose to either go to normal school or to stop school. I wonder if it's like that for the Taiwanese tribes. Was there one specific thing that surprised you the most when you visited them?
Oh yeah, I also learned that in some of the tribes in Taiwan, women actually have more power. And for example, they get to choose their husbands while men can't really choose their wives. They live with their woman's family. Also, daughters usually inherit, like receive all the family's money. The kids take their mother's last name instead of their father's. And then, yeah, I was at the time I was telling my husband, like, we should be them. We should be like that.
Yeah, that sounds so cool. I would love to live there. Wow. And how much of the population belongs to an indigenous tribe in Taiwan?
I think it's a lot. It's not a lot now. I just looked it up. It's less than 3% of people in Taiwan, sadly. It says some of their languages and traditional customs are gradually faded because of the current lifestyle. That's similar to Native American tribes, right?
Yeah, unfortunately and sadly, they've been oppressed by our government a lot, so it's hard for them to keep up many of their traditions. But I hope that indigenous communities can get more support in the future.
Yeah, same thing goes for the ones in Taiwan. I think every tribe and culture has something special that makes it stand out, right?
Yeah, and that's exactly what today's phrase means. To stand out means to be easy to notice or to be different from others.
Right, and we hope this podcast stands out to you too. Thanks for listening again, and we will catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
你也想说一口道地的英文吗？最新一期基础口说小团班的时间已经出来咯，课程不只会详细的解说更多的英文惯用法，每堂课还会利用小句型来帮你改善中式英文，让你的英文不只是看得懂，而且还能说得出口。所以别再自己默默练习啦，只要点击下方的连结，就能了解更多课程的资讯。那我们就课堂上见咯， See you in class!